What's up everybody, this is Nick at bobben.com and today we're going to walk you through how we landed on the best branched chain amino acid supplements on the market, BCAAs. They are an unbelievably popular supplement on the market. After like whey protein and creatine, BCAAs, they seem to be the most widespread supplement if you go to a sports nutrition store. And the reason for that is they're widely considered a means to potentially help to improve muscle retention, like avoid muscle loss during difficult workouts, and maybe to have other potential ergogenic benefits as well. Maybe they'll help you have longer workouts, maybe they'll help to increase focus. We're gonna go through a bit of the research later on. In today's list, we're gonna be going through the best overall, the best for men, best for women, best for fat loss, and more, so make absolutely certain you stick around. Little disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, that's something we gotta get out there. If you're making any big changes to your diet or your exercise regimen or your supplement regimen, make sure you speak to a qualified medical professional to make sure you aren't gonna have any interactions with medications or pre-existing conditions, or just to make sure that it's right for you. So make sure you do that. Before we go any further as well, why don't I just tell you what the best BCAA is? I know that's what you're here for, that's why you clicked in this video. So I respect your time, I'm gonna tell you. It's Swolverine. It's really nice and simple. It's just like what you want from a BCAA company. A lot of the time, these sorts of products have a whole lot of extra weird ingredients that may indeed have benefits, but they ratchet up the price. They may not be exactly what you're looking for. This has a solid ratio of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, the 3 BCAAs, plus 1 or 2 other ingredients that may further enhance muscle retention and improve energy throughout your workout. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. And I'm also gonna get 2 picks for the best BCAAs for endurance athletes, the best pre-workout with BCAAs, and a whole lot more. But for now, why take them? Amino acids are often called the building blocks of protein. Protein is made up of many amino acids. Essential amino acids are ones that we cannot make ourselves, so you have to get it through food. And the 3 branched chain amino acids, so named for their little branched looks, if you see them under a microscope, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Leucine is most closely associated with muscle protein synthesis, but that effect seems to be a little bit boosted or enhanced by the inclusion of isoleucine and valine, which may have extra potential benefits such as focus and endurance. So that's what BCAAs are. Why do you take them? There's some research that suggests that when you're exercising, a few things happen in the body, like you have a serum, like a decline in the BCAAs in your blood, which can lead to like reductions in performance when you're exercising, right? So there's some research that suggests that taking supplemental BCAAs can help to prevent or reduce that decline in BCAAs in your blood, and thereby help to improve your like sort of endurance and how long you can have an effective workout for. It's also possible that it helps to lower the loss of muscle glycogen when you're exercising, and thereby again help you to work out for a little bit longer. So by also mitigating that reduction in serum BCAAs, the idea is that they can help to reduce fatigue. Also, leucine is closely related, as I mentioned, to muscle protein synthesis. So a lot of folks, if they are not getting enough protein in their diet, like if you aren't reaching the generally recommended by sports nutritionists level of 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. If you're not reaching that, a lot of folks take supplemental branched chain amino acids so that they can stimulate muscle protein synthesis in the absence of real food, right? So basically, if you're getting a ton of protein throughout the day already, it's unlikely that you're gonna need to take BCAAs like between meals. That said, plenty of folks who either didn't get around to getting enough protein in their day, or if they're having a really long gap between meals, or if they're fasting, a lot of folks like to take BCAAs as well in that regard. Plus it just tastes really good as well, right? Tom Stoltman, who wound up winning the World's Strongest Man twice after I interviewed him on this, he said he just takes BCAAs throughout the day just because it makes sure that he drinks enough water. And also, again, if you're having a long break between meals, they can help to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. That's BCAAs. Top pick, Swolverine's 2:1:1 BCAA formula. We like this so much, we named it as the best overall, also the best for weight loss, and also the best for electrolytes. It's got a whole lot going for it. So research has suggested that with the 3 branched amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, you want 2 parts leucine to 1 part isoleucine and valine. That is the best research supported ratio. That's what Swolverine has used here. But the ingredients list is actually quite minimalist, which is another thing that we liked about it. It has those 3 BCAAs, right? but has some extra additions that may be useful. Like so for weight loss, for example. People who are looking to lose weight, you want to lose as much fat as you can, retain as much muscle as you can. I've already gone over the evidence suggesting that BCAAs on their own can help one to retain muscle during exercise or during long breaks between protein, that kind of thing. But what else Swolverine does here is they add in glutamine and vitamin B6, which may have an extra effect there. There's some evidence that glutamine is good for gut health, but there's also some evidence that it may help to reduce post-exercise muscle soreness. That's more of like a comfort thing, but still, that's pretty nice. Now, vitamin B6 may seem like an unusual addition in a product like this, like it's just some way to say it has more nutrition than your average BCAA, but vitamin B6 actually plays an interesting role in fuel metabolism during exercise. Like vitamin B6 helps with protein building and muscle retention during exercise. And since we appear in some research, we appear to lose vitamin B6 as we exercise, it's actually not a bad idea to have vitamin B6 in what is typically taken as a pre-workout supplement, like Swolverines. There are also some electrolytes in here, some sodium and potassium. Electrolyte supplementation, especially sodium, honestly, I think personally that it's a really underserved and underemphasized area in sports nutrition. We lose electrolytes when we sweat. That's why your sweat is salty, and it really is a very, very good idea to ensure you're getting electrolytes, especially sodium, throughout the day and especially before you work out. This contains both sodium and potassium in it. There are other electrolytes out there like calcium and that kind of stuff, but for some folks, sodium and potassium, they're a little bit less likely to get from whole foods. So that's why you want to get a product like this. It has a bit of extra sodium and potassium in it. It's got a bit of extra glutamine for reducing muscle soreness and for a healthy gut. You got some B6 to enhance the muscle retention properties, and you get the BCAAs themselves to help with muscle retention and all the other stuff that BCAAs do. So the downside is lemon lime is the only flavor they have. And I think it's because they went the route of having no artificial flavoring. Because BCAAs on their own, naturally, they're actually quite bitter, and you typically need like quite a lot of like nice strong flavoring to overpower the flavor of BCAAs. And when you're using natural flavorings, you have to typically add some sourness to make them have some flavor. If flavor is your number one priority, plenty of other products here for you. Let's move on to the next pick. Next up, we're going to talk about the best BCAAs for muscle growth. So this is a little bit different of a category to weight loss, which is typically about calorie deficits. Muscle growth is typically about calorie excess, extra calories. So those are two very different goals. We're talking about the BCAA supplement from Huge Supplements, which we think is the best for muscle growth. We also think it's the best for men, and also we think this is the best BCAA supplement for workouts, like for taking during your workouts to enhance your workout performance, right? So again, when you are trying to gain muscle, you're not in a calorie deficit, your energy levels are typically pretty good. So a supplement like this, you take it to enhance your workouts as opposed to preventing a massive increase in fatigue during your workouts, if that makes sense. So what we've got here is a supplement that, for one, has a really good dose of 8 grams of branched chain amino acids. That's a very high dose of them, so that's very good. In addition to that, they've got other amino acids in here as well. So this gets into the kind of murky territory of comparing branched chain amino acid supplements with essential amino acid supplements. But long story short, BCAAs are the amino acids most closely associated with muscle protein synthesis and muscle retention, but throwing in some extra amino acids can potentially have a more useful effect, right? So BCAAs are sort of like the minimum effective dose of amino acids to potentially impact muscle protein synthesis. But a lot of people like to add in extra amino acids, like an essential amino acid supplement, to help to further enhance that muscle protein synthesis response. So in addition to the 3 branched chain amino acids, there's also an extra 6 essential amino acids in this product that Huge Supplements has added in there. So that could potentially make it a better pick if muscle growth is your number 1 priority. The other reason that we named this the best branched chain amino acid supplement for workouts is because, well, this nice high dosage should have a good anti-fatigue effects. But on top of that, we named this one the best for men because frankly, it just has a higher dose. So men tend to weigh more than women. This is sort of how it works. And so the bigger the athlete, the stronger the dose of things they tend to need, right? So female athletes will often recommend to take pre-workouts that are lower in caffeine than some of the others because they tend to have lower body weight, so therefore, high caffeine counts can affect them a little bit more. Because this has such a high dose and 8 grams of branched amino acids, this is very effective for both people of lower body weights and people of larger body weights, hence this being a good pick for men as well. Plus, not to mention the fact that it helps with post-workout muscle soreness which is quite widely reported among males doing a lot of those really heavy hypertrophy, high rep muscle building workouts. So me and the other guys at Barbend were big fans of the huge supplements BCAA. Now before I go any further, I know I'm kind of throwing a lot of information at you here. If you would rather read it yourself at your own pace without my accent, you can. You can just Google Barbend best BCAA and that'll take you right to the article version of this video with all these studies we've been talking about, and that'll help you make the decision that's right for you. Or we can keep talking. So let's move on to Onnit's Total Strength Performance Blend, which we don't have because we used it all, because it was very popular among the Barbend office. What was interesting about Onnit's BCAA is that it was a BCAA supplement that also functioned as a non-stim pre-workout. So those of us that like to take pre-workouts without caffeine in them would often take this one because it has ingredients that were anti-inflammatory and anti-estrogenic, stuff like luteolin and long jack and that kind of stuff, and vitamin B6. And a lot of these very all natural ingredients, like plenty of plant extracts that may have anti-inflammatory benefits, that kind of thing. Plus there's no artificial flavors or sweeteners in it. Right now, we couldn't get another tub because Onnit is reformulating it. But overall, we've been really impressed with their products in the past and the way that they mixed in BCAAs with like really natural plant extracts that might have extra like ergogenic and recovery benefits. We found it really impressive. So we're really hanging out to see it when it comes back to the market. So if you're looking for the best BCAA blend, Onnit does a really good job of like combining a lot of different ingredients in there that have interesting effects while still remaining like fairly holistic, grounded, and whole foody in the supplement game. So they're very unique, they really stand out in the marketplace. A curious question we often receive is, what is the best protein powder with BCAAs? It's an interesting one because amino acids are the building blocks of protein. BCAAs are actually already very high in whey protein itself. Like whey is actually considered the most bioavailable protein in the world, which means it's the most readily absorbed, largely because of how fantastic that amino acid profile is. So our favorite has got to be this one right here. It's Swolverine's. Swolverine's whey protein powder, it's very legit. It is all whey protein isolate, so there's no concentrate in there, which means it doesn't have like the lactose or sugars that doesn't agree with some people. This is not like 100% sugar free. There's 1 gram per scoop, but like if you are talking about whey concentrate, that's gonna have, yeah, more lactose and more fat. This is that really pared down. So the protein per calorie is very high because of that emphasis on whey protein isolate. And on top of that, it's got digestive enzymes too, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of when there are digestive enzymes in these sorts of supplements. These are proteases. There are a wide range of enzymes as well. There's lipases that help you break down fat and so on, but proteases, some research has suggested that taking that with your protein can help to enhance the way it is absorbed and enhance how quickly it's absorbed as well. So Swolverine's whey protein isolate, a bunch of really tasty flavors, no artificial flavors, and yeah, we're constantly chugging it around here at Barbend. All right, so next up, what's the best pre-workout with BCAAs? The wording there might be a bit funny because for a lot of folks, they've got to take BCAAs before a workout. So that is their pre-workout. But this question is like, what's a pre-workout supplement like with a bunch of other ingredients that are meant to enhance performance that also happens to contain BCAAs, right? So BCAAs are actually fairly uncommon in pre-workouts. Pre-workouts are typically caffeine and usually some combination of like citrulline, beta-alanine, maybe beta-ine, creatine, that kind of stuff. We've got plenty of content on pre-workouts I encourage you to check out. And in them, we heavily emphasize Kaged, Pre-Kaged. This is a really solid pre-workout, and it has branching amino acids in it. So in addition to 3.5 grams of BCAAs, this has just more ingredients than you can shake a stick at, right? It's got like 6.5 grams of citrulline, which has really strong links with like blood flow, like increased blood flow, extra endurance, extra power. They've done interesting studies on cyclists and tennis players showing enhanced performance with that. In addition, they've got interesting ingredients linked to increased power output, like beta-ine anhydrous, which is found in beets. They've done direct studies on bench press and squat with increased when you're taking beta-ine. And there's even a whole bunch of ground up fruits and vegetables. It's called a Spectra Total ORAC blend. It's kind of like a little bit of a green superfood powder, like those greens powders with like blended up spirulina and stuff in them. So this, in addition to BCAAs and all these pre-workout ingredients and a whopping 274 milligrams of caffeine, there's also ground up like broccoli sprouts and blackcurrant juice and that kind of stuff just to add some extra antioxidants and make it a little bit more anti-inflammatory. Boy, is it a good pre-workout. And if you're looking for one with BCAAs, look no further. Next up, we're going to take a look at Transparent Labs, which is one of our favorite supplement companies because they're very transparent. As someone who works in the supplement industry, I can tell you there are a whole lot of supplements out there that just don't tell you what's in them or how much of everything that's in them. They hide things behind proprietary blends that tell you what's in them, but not how much. The idea is that so that they don't have to tell you their secret formula so that you can't copy it. But the real reason is so that they don't have to tell you how much is in their product of these ingredients because they probably aren't an effective dose, right? Anyway, Transparent Labs is like a whole company founded in response to that. They don't like this opaqueness in the industry. So they'll give you the exact amount of everything they're putting in there, and also on their website, they'll tell you exactly why they made this product as well, and why they include those ingredients. Transparent Labs, Vanishing amino acids, and glutamine. This product has glutamine, and we consider it the best tasting branched chain amino acid product on the market. And in addition to that, it's the best vegan BCAA as well. The flavors, really good at Transparent Labs, which is very shocking because they also don't have any artificial flavors or sweeteners. But they have managed to make good tasting BCAA products. This one here is Tropical Punch. As I mentioned earlier, it's very unusual for a naturally flavored BCAA product to be made that isn't very sour, because that's normally the trade-off you have to make when you're doing naturally flavored BCAAs. But these have like not very sour Tropical Punch flavors. They've also got orange, they've also got blue raspberry, in addition to more sour flavors like sour green apple and strawberry lemonade. No matter which one you get, you're gonna enjoy the flavor. We're a really big fan of it. Transparent Labs also has our favorite vegan BCAAs. There is a definite split between, they generally call them fermented BCAAs or vegan BCAAs. If you don't have fermented or vegan before the BCAAs in your ingredients list, then they are not vegan. They are derived from animal products. But you can make BCAAs in a vegan fashion, and that's what they've done here at Transparent Labs. A couple other products here also do the fermented ones, but our favorite vegan BCAA supplement is BCAA and glutamine from Transparent Labs. Next up, we're gonna talk about a supplement with a name that sounds kind of dumb by accent, but what doesn't? Gnarly. Gnarly Sports Nutrition has some really cool branched chain amino acids here. The goal of these ones is to reduce muscle soreness and improve recovery time. And we decided to name this one the best for endurance and the best for women as well. The reason, honestly, is that when we talk to our female readers and look at the surveys taken in the industry of sports nutrition, female athletes, they tend to prefer products that don't have a whole bunch of extraneous ingredients to them, right? So it's a little bit harder to market them like really overbuilt pre-workouts with a whole bunch of different ingredients and really high amounts of caffeine, because generally speaking, female customers, they want more minimalist, stripped back and straightforward products. So that's what we feel Gnarly has put together here. So this is a BCAA blend of 5 grams. In addition to that, there's very little else. So just a little bit of potassium, which is a helpful electrolyte that can help with hydration. And on top of that, you get 1 gram of fiber and you get a little bit of red algae in here. Why they include red algae, we believe, is because it's a source of antioxidants. That means it could help to further improve recovery by providing a bit of an anti-inflammatory effect. Lastly, you can get it with caffeine or without caffeine. So without caffeine, it's gonna be a nice stimulant-free thing to take before your workout. But if you are a runner or if you're going to work out, short of getting an actual pre-workout, and pre-workouts are gonna have, hundreds of milligrams of caffeine, but if you want a more dedicated BCAA supplement with like a touch of caffeine, you get some organic green tea leaf extracted caffeine here, 35 milligrams. To put that into context, an average 12-ounce cold brew from your local coffee place is about 150, 160 milligrams of caffeine. So that really is very, very low in caffeine. If you want a dedicated, like strong caffeine supplement, again, head to a pre-workout like this one. But if you want to get a proper BCAA supplement with just a bit of caffeine to help to further enhance the endurance effects that just plain BCAAs may have, we definitely recommend Gnarly. All right, so next up we're gonna have the best BCAA capsules, right? So I'm a big fan of taking supplements in capsule form, right? Which sounds a bit dumb because most supplements are like vitamins and stuff, you take them in capsules. But like creatine, I like to take in capsules, BCAA is the same. The reason is, it's simply easier to take them on the go and it's easier to lump them in with your daily supplements, right? We're a big fan of Optimum Nutrition's BCAA 1000. It is nothing but BCAAs in a 2:1 ratio of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, and they are encased in gelatin capsules. So Optimum Nutrition's BCAA, very plain, no need for them to be flavored, really easy to transport with you if you're on the go, if you're taking a trip, if you want to do something with your daily supplements in the morning. We're a big fan of these products. You should know that the gelatin the capsules are in means that it's not vegan friendly, but these aren't vegan friendly BCAAs in the first place. So no skin off our teeth, but looking for some BCAA pills, Optimum Nutrition is the best on the market because it's a really big company, and that means that they are pretty competitively priced when it comes to their supplements. Lastly, we're going to talk about the best branched chain amino acids for the keto diet. Keto diet, very high fat, very low carbohydrate. You want the lowest carbohydrate, lowest calorie BCAAs you can get. The good news is most of them are pretty darn low in carbohydrates, but many of them contain extra ingredients, be it fillers, be it anti-caking agents, be it flavorings, that kind of stuff that can sometimes bring the carbohydrate count up. Tell you what though, Cellucor's alpha amino is less than 1 gram of carbohydrates. So yeah, no carbs here. So very keto friendly. That's all you really need if you're looking for something that can fit into a ketogenic diet, but there are extra benefits here in that this has a wide range of amino acids. So like I said earlier about huge supplements, BCAA, there can be some extra benefits, extra muscle retention benefits and so on to having extra amino acids around your BCAAs if you're taking less of a minimalist approach to your amino acid supplement. Alpha amino has a whole suite of other amino acids, more than anything else on this list. And it also has a hydration blend. So you're getting some phosphorus, some magnesium, sodium, potassium. These are all electrolytes that are helpful for hydration. So it's a really good supplement for just about anybody. And if you're keto, it's extra good because you might find it hard to find 0 carbohydrate BCAA supplements. Alpha amino will get you where you want to go. So that about does it, man, with our list of the best BCAA supplements. One question I did want to address before we left though is when to take BCAAs. That's the question that we hear a lot. And it's kind of key to the whole thing, right? Like when you're talking about pre-workouts, you want to take it 30 minutes before a workout. If you're talking about BCAA supplements, there are more reasons people take BCAA supplements. The timing can vary based on like your individual needs and purposes. Generally, I would say if you are someone who likes to take your BCAAs because you're attracted to the muscle retention and endurance benefits that are associated with them for your workouts, yeah, you take it before a workout, I'd say like 30 minutes before a workout, maybe even an hour before a workout. But yeah, 30 to 60 minutes before a workout, that should get it into your belly and ideally into your bloodstream, at least if you're on an empty stomach. So before a workout, you don't want to have like a really, really full stomach. For one, because it'll take longer for your pre-workout BCAAs to absorb and digest and get into your bloodstream. For two, if you have a really full stomach, which is full of protein and amino acids, it's unlikely you need the BCAAs in the first place. So you want to make sure you've eaten like at least an hour before a workout so that your stomach is like empty enough that you can take these BCAAs and have them contribute to your workout. If you are someone who is taking BCAAs to stimulate muscle protein synthesis throughout the day, that's another very common reason they're taken. Tim Ferriss does it when he's having his longer fast. He sips on BCAAs so that he can prevent as much muscle loss as possible. This is a pretty broad rule, but for people who take BCAAs because they are going a long time without protein and want to maintain muscle protein synthesis as best they can, I would say wait a good 6 hours without food before you might want to think about stimulating muscle protein synthesis again. There's nothing wrong with taking it earlier, like that's the thing with BCAAs, you can just take them whenever you want. But if your concern is how long without food is it going to take until it might be a good idea to think about stimulating muscle protein synthesis, yeah, I think probably 6 hours. And if you're fasting, like you're not eating all day, you can just sip it throughout the day. I think every 3 to 6 hours would be fine to have your BCAAs. Again, nothing wrong with having more often than that. You just have to think about balancing the amount of calories that you'll be consuming with your goals of maintaining muscle protein synthesis. The last thing I want to say here is muscle protein synthesis, which is the main thing with BCAAs. That is part of the muscle gain puzzle and muscle retention puzzle. It is by no means all of it. When it comes to especially muscle gain, but also muscle retention, there's all these other aspects to think about, like muscle, like protein turnover, meaning are you making sure that you are gaining or retaining muscle faster than you are losing it? There's also total calories, there's total protein intake, there's your workouts, there's your sleep, there's all of the stuff to it. So BCAAs, they could be a useful tool in your kit when it comes to the question of muscle retention and also potentially for endurance and focus during your workouts as well. That said, please do not forget all the other much bigger, more important pieces of the puzzle when it comes to maintaining your physique. That's our video on branched chain amino acids. If you want to be able to take this information in at your own speed, you can go to the article. You can Google Barben best BCAAs. This whole thing is going to come up and you can read it at your own pace and check out the studies we've been talking about and make up your own mind as to whether or not BCAAs are for you or not. That's it. Hope you learned something. See you for the next video.